Okay, so I mean, I don't know how many of us remember or engaged with the catalog cards, but this picture here, I don't know, good Lord, maybe the 50s or 60s. This is a picture of librarians working with the card catalog. And this is basically how libraries organized information before computers and especially before interconnected networks like the internet. So what we're looking at here is how information is stored in libraries, and understanding its physical format can help us realize how we can more effectively search things like the online catalog and databases. So if we don't know, these card catalog cabinets are full of shelves, and those shelves are full of individual cards that are all just stacked into this shelf. And if you want to find something like a book on gun control, you would go to the cabinet that had G, and then you would go to the shelf that had GU, and then you would open up the GU and you would rifle through hundreds, maybe dozens of cards to find books that had either a title that started with the word gun or subject terms that related to gun. So let's take a look at what a catalog card looks like. Okay, so catalog cards, we're going to see the digital version of this in a minute, but this is what those catalog cards would look like. So nowadays we type in our search terms into our library search, and the algorithm does all the rifling through those little cards. And so looking at these cards helps us understand exactly what it's searching through. It's searching through the author's name. Here's the author field. It's searching through the title field, and it's going to be searching through these these are called subject terms. We'll see how subject terms play a role in our library research. So that's all to say that libraries and the information organization has come a long way. Now we can accomplish all of this much quicker through the internet. We don't even have to go into the library. And let's take a look at finding things just in general quickly through what's called our online public access catalog. So you all have access to the public catalog through the library's webpage. And basically what you can search for is everything that lives inside the library, whether it's our DVDs and videos and books and magazines and periodicals. And then you can also tell the computer to expand your search to look through a number of databases and electronic books and find articles. So if we play around with that OPAC, we can see how things go down. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to remember that I'm trying to show you how to search the OPAC, the online public access catalog, and I'm going to come in and look at these big red buttons here. And I'm going to say, okay, I don't want to chat with the librarian right now. I'm just going to click search all library resources. Even though it doesn't say OPAC, this is our OPAC. This is the online public access catalog. So I'm going to open this in a new tab, and I'm going to jump over here and take a look at what this online catalog looks like. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and run with, let's test it out. I'm excited to see what happens. I'm going to put in your words COVID and the word depression. And so you can see what comes up here in the OPAC. This is really local to Long Beach City College, okay? So what we've done is we've customized it to say, do you want to search everything, which is all this stuff below? Are you looking for a textbook? And if you're looking for a textbook, you can click that. And do you want online resources only? Do you want print books? Do you want peer-reviewed articles? I'm going to search everything. And I'm interested to see what's going to happen here because I'm thinking back to the credibility clock. And before you get really peer-reviewed articles and high intensity studies, time has to go by. Before you get books written about issues, time has to go by because it takes such a long time to write those books and write that research. So I'm interested to see, has enough time gone by, and are we going to start seeing peer-reviewed articles and scholarly resources for COVID-19? Because I mean, it only seems like yesterday, but it has, in the scheme of research, it has really not been a lot of time to go by. So that's why I'm interested to see what's going to show up. So what I did is I searched COVID and depression, and I'm going to show you a couple of things real fast here in our OPAC. So all of our results are going to run right down the middle of the page. And all of these fun things on the left where it says tweak your results, these are called limiters. These are going to help you make your search more effective. So you can come in and tell it, like on Google, you can say, I want to look at images or shopping or news. Think of it in that. It's kind of a way to funnel down and filter your results. And I'm showing this to you, not just because it's my favorite feature, but you're going to see limiters in every single database that we look at today. So you can tell the computer, I want to see things that are only available online because I need to read it right now because my paper is due tomorrow. Or I want to see things that are from peer-reviewed journals because my professor told me I have to have peer-reviewed articles. Or I want to explore what there is in the open access world. I won't go too much into open access, but this is something we talk about a lot in our Library 1 and Library 3 classes as a really cool way to kind of like challenge the conventional authority of the establishment when it comes to credibility. So let's look at the subject list. This is a way to kind of think about other terms that researchers are using. So if you're not finding a lot when you just search COVID and depression, you might think about pairing different search terms, maybe like pandemics and mental health. If you're not finding a lot about COVID and mental health, there have been other pandemics, and you might be able to extrapolate findings from those as you're crafting your argument. So subject is a cool limiter to come in because it can expand your terminology and give you different key terms to research to add into your search strategies. So one thing that I like to show is if you follow this little banner and you sign in through the Viking Portal, you can use these pin cushions here and you can save books and articles in your OPAC account. And I really like that feature because now I don't have to go copying and pasting links all over the place. It saves them in my own little personal book list. So I'm going to finally take a look at some of these results, and I'm seeing some pretty intense titles here. Okay, so this is a randomized clinical trial where they're looking at how teletherapy, so basically Zoom therapy sessions, how were they effective in treating depression during COVID? Hey, that might be useful. You could come down and take a look at some of these other ones and see, are they useful? Are they beneficial? So what I want to show you now is when we click into this article, let's take a look at what its information page looks like. Let's look at its actual card catalog and see the kind of information that we have there. If we don't have time to do that, we could always just click on these shortcuts. This button here lets you cite the book or the article right away. So if I click on cite, you'll see that this little iframe dialog box was created, and I can click copy citation to clipboard. And then I already showed you the pin cushion. If you want to collect the links, you can click permalink. And then if you just want to jump right into that article, you can click this available online link. So kind of everything that you need to get a sense of what this is about is provided in the snippet, but I'm going to click into the title to see the expanded version of what this is about. So we're going to see everything we just saw. We're going to see the high-level abstract here. It's an open access article. It's available online. We'll click on that in a minute. Here's our citation where we can click to get the APA citation that we might need if we want to cite this in our speech. And okay, wow, so this article actually appears in a number of databases. So we could click on any one of those to read the article. And then below that, here's where we're seeing that card catalog stuff. We're seeing the title, we're seeing who wrote and who contributed to this research. And we're seeing all these subject terms. These subject terms are really cool because they are like really professional, legitimate hashtags that librarians have come in and stamped on articles and books. So if I found a subject term that I really liked, I could click on that and it will create a search for me and show me everything in the OPAC that has that same subject term. And you can do that in databases too. So subject terms are like finding a really cool hashtag and following it through to see what else has been stamped with this. So if you want to figure out what this article is about without reading the 40-page article and then realizing it's not useful, you can always read the abstract or the description. Okay, so finally, let's see what it looks like. I'm going to scroll down to view online, and then I'm going to click onto one of these and cross my fingers that it works. When you see something that is open access, a lot of times it's going to send us outside the library world, and it's going to send us to the open access site, or it's going to send us to a third party that is hosting that article. So yeah, as you can see, we're not in the LBCC library anymore, and we're actually going to spend a couple of seconds here trying to find the article. So I'm scrolling down. Is this it where it says open? Okay, there's our methods discussion. Okay, so the article is actually just on this web page. It's just printed out as HTML on the web page. So there you go. It took you right to that article. So if I read through it, found a couple of quotes that I think are great and support my research, I can come in, grab the citation for APA, copy that, put it in my bibliography, and hey, I just found a peer-reviewed source through the OPAC. Does that make sense, looking at the OPAC so far? And the OPAC, again, is an online public access catalog. It's the digital version of those catalog cards.